Hey guys, today we're taking a look at my Mecha Phantom Beast deck. Now this deck was requested by FL Racing 84 as well as Joseph Guerrero. And this deck I would say is pretty confusing for beginners and kind of more, I guess a little bit intermediate players. But in general, the Mecha Phantom Beasts have a lot of different effects based on the tokens that are on the field. They are able to gain levels based on the tokens. They're able to protect themselves from being destroyed when there's tokens up. And then they could special summon tokens, and then they can also use tokens to activate effects. So every card pretty much has a lot going on, which is why I really don't recommend this deck for beginners, but it's still really fun. And once you really know it really well, it has some really interesting plays you can do. So I'm not going to, say all the effects of all the cards just because a lot of them are the same. I'm just going to talk about what's important about them. So first off, Megaraptor is our beater for this deck. 1900 attack, very good. And when he gets special summoned, you summon a token. And then for his effect, you can add those Mecha Phantom Beasts to the hand, which is really nice. So you can use them as a beater and search out what you need to set up plays really quickly, which is very good. So Tetherwolf, he brings out a token when you normal summon him, so you're guaranteed to get a token, and he can use tokens to gain attack. So he's effectively a 2500 beater, which makes him very powerful, very nice card to have. And definitely allows you to stall right at the start, which is really, really nice because you want to be able to set up those XYZs. And then Hamstrat's really good because when he's flipped up, you can special summon tokens, and they won't know which card he is when they attack him, so tokens will protect him from being destroyed by battle. And then you could special summon Mecha Phantom Beasts from the graveyard, which is really good. You want to keep in mind the cards that special summon because some of the Mecha Phantom Beasts special summon more tokens when they get special summoned, so it's just constant swarming and summoning. So Hamstrat's a really good way to set up tokens and special summon and swarm. And then Harrliard, 1800 attack, another very strong card. So this one kind of refunds you the tokens that you used when you activate Mecha Phantom Beast effect. And then you can also special summon Mecha Phantom Beasts from the hand. Again, very big that you can special summon those Mecha Phantom Beasts very easily. And then we have Coltwing. So Coltwing's really interesting. So he's all about when you special summon him, that you can generate 2 tokens. So the big thing is you'll be using the other Mecha Phantom Beast effects or the other cards you have to special summon him and get even more tokens, which is really, really nice. And then you can also tribute 2 tokens to kind of destroy something and banish it, which is really, really good if you need that effect. You can swarm and activate those effects, or you have a lot of different choices you can do, which is really nice. And then one Warbluran. Just really nice that when you're using him for synchro summoning, you'll generate tokens as well, which is really, really good. And then you can also increase his level, which is not really the big effect, but more just the fact that you can bring out those machine synchros and back them up, especially when you want to bring out, when you're going to start to want to bring out like Dracossack and stuff like that. So very, very good to have. And we're also running Effect Veiler. Just helping us deal with effects. Also really nice to have these 1-star tuners in here to combine with whatever you have on the field to give access to these synchros very quickly. So now for the spell cards, 3 MST in this meta, very good to have. 2 Upstart Goblins, just thinning the deck a bit because we're running a little low on monsters. Scapegoat, any token generating cards are very important for this deck. If you're new to Mecha Phantom Beasts, the big thing to understand is that while they require Mecha Phantom Beasts, or they don't really require Mecha Phantom Beast tokens, but they generate these tokens that you're supposed to be using. But in reality, Mecha Phantom Beasts can pretty much use any tokens. So if you have a card like Scapegoat, you're going to set up a really interesting field presence. The one problem is if you're using Scapegoat, your field's going to get full really quickly. So you kind of have to plan out how you're going to use the effects. Still very good to have, but you can use other token generating cards. Pot of Duality, Scramble Scramble, really good, just setting up whatever you need. Swarming, activating special summon effects, bringing out a ton of tokens, XYZing, great card overall. Magic Planter, letting us get rid of our continuous trap cards, giving us some draw power. And Dark Hole and Limiter removal, very good in this deck because when we have tokens on the field, we're just going to lose the tokens and we won't lose our cards, which is really, really strong. So now for the traps, Fiendish Chain, Aerial Recharge, helping us generate tokens to set up what we need. Very good combined with Scramble Scramble. Yeah, you can just do some really good plays with that. And we have Magic Planter to get draw power from it when we don't need it anymore. And then just staple traps. For the extra deck, we're going to have some synchros. So Formula Synchron and Catastor, big that they're machines because of Warbluran's effect. We also have Black Rose and Scrap Dragon. there's a lot of different ones you can use. These are the current ones I'm using. For the XYZ, we're going to have a few different 4-stars. The 2 new ones, Exciton, Silent On, are very powerful. Gear Gigant with our machines, allowing us to search out. Lightning Chidori with wind monsters, very powerful in the right situation to have. Gagaga Cowboy for the 7 stars. 3 Dracossack might be a little bit much, but Dracossack is insanely useful for this deck, and you could bring them out very, very easily with how the levels change. And 1 Big Eye and 1 Master of Blades, always good to have these cards, to activate their very good effects. And 1 Gustav Max, really not that hard to get out, and easily 2,000 damage that you're going to be able to do, as well as having a 3,000 beater and possibly another 2,000 damage next turn. So a very powerful card. So now for the side deck. Again, side decks in my videos are kind of just like tech and random cards that can also be very useful for the deck. When you're making your own deck, you want to think about these cards maybe just in your builds. Not really a side deck for matches, not really set up to go against certain metas and stuff like that. That would be a different side deck. But Tempest can be really useful for this deck. 7-star wind monster, just very useful. Dark Simorgh, you can run like a wind dark kind of hybrid deck with Mecha Phantom Beasts, and then you have Dark Simorgh that can get special summoned easily and can XYZ, and it could be a really interesting combination. Machinas can work really well with this deck, especially a 7-star like Machina Fortress that can get out your Dracossack. Mecha Phantom Beast, Concorudo is an interesting one. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but he can set up the field in really interesting ways, and then he's 7-star on top of what you have, so that can be useful. Creature Swap, Enemy Controller can be really good using up your tokens. Iron Call could be good to set up what you need. Token Sunday can be useful, but you really don't want to get rid of your tokens that easily. Still can be helpful. Fires of Doomsday, other token cards can also be really good. Obviously, a little bit different than Scapegoat. Zero Zarak can be another interesting card that you can just kind of use with your tokens and not have to worry about them as much. Ancient Forest is actually a really interesting card because you won't have to worry about your cards getting destroyed as much, and your opponent will get really, really annoyed. There's a bunch of other Mecha Phantom Beast support cards. I'm not going to go into all of them, but Dual Barrel Roll is the one that gets talked about a lot. The only problem is that you have to give up all your tokens for it, so it's kind of annoying, but definitely can be useful to negate something. Horn of Heaven, the original one, can actually be really useful because you're just using one of your tokens to negate summons. Token Stampede is really interesting to protect your tokens and give them attack. Can really set up some interesting stuff as well. And Cyber Summon Blaster, you're summoning a lot of machines, and this kind of goes with the fact that you're using a lot of continuous traps and Magic Planter as well, so this could be an interesting choice. But that's my Mecha Phantom Beast deck. Again, very kind of confusing to play at first, but once you get into it and understand how the levels work and all the plays it can do, you can definitely do some really interesting things. And I have a lot of fun with this, just using these 4-star monsters that turn into 7 and 10-star monsters so quickly. But if you guys have your own Mecha Phantom Beast decks, post below, let me know in the comments, talk about what cards you use and that kind of thing. But that's about it for me. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.